The way you shop is about to change. The way businesses do business is about to change. Shopping online and selling online is not new, but we all know that it's been growing rapidly over the last decade. Now, with us being based here at the bottom tip of Africa in a developing country, we have an opportunity to look at first world countries and to use them as a crystal ball of sorts to see what trends are going on there, and they almost certainly are going to come here too. Now, e-commerce as a share of total US retail sales has reached 14.5%. And in China, this is up to 25% right now. Now, in South Africa, e-commerce has definitely been growing steadily year after year. And even though we saw a major step growth in a step change in growth in the 2020 lockdowns, we're still only sitting at about 4% of total retail being e-commerce. So the extra growth which is yet to come shows massive opportunity for businesses selling online, but it also indicates that things are going to change rapidly for consumers and how we shop. A great indicator of how rapid this growth can be taken from the stats shared by F&B. In 2020, I listened to a Bruce Whitfield interview with the head of growth from F&B, Alawani Tenga. And in that interview, they confirmed at the time in 2020 that they expected e-commerce in South Africa in 2025 to grow to 225 billion rand. But just 2 years later, and we are already doing 200 billion. Now, recently, I was giving a presentation to the F&B management team, and I saw Mr. Alawani Tenga was in the audience. And so I asked if this stat had changed, and he confirmed that they've had to readjust their forecast from 225 billion up to 400 billion. So what does this all mean for us and consumers? Well, it is, of course, a major opportunity for businesses to see growth, but it also indicates that the way that consumers like you and I shop is about to change, and it's going to change really fast. So up to now, South African consumers have largely limited their online shopping behavior to stores within South Africa. Now, you can actually buy from Amazon US and have it delivered to your front door. I'll talk more about Amazon in a bit, but many consumers still prefer to shop locally. And while I am all for shopping locally, we have shifted into a global village, and shopping behavior will naturally follow suit. So what are the major contributing factors of the shift in buying behavior? Well, one of the major changes that's coming into effect now is the Africa Free Trade Area. And that's aiming to simplify intra-Africa trade and to do for Africa what the European countries have done with the European Union, where they have less red tape to work together, and they are incentivized to do businesses with each other within the trade area. You see, right now, somebody in Pretoria, well, they might feel super comfortable shopping online from a company in Cape Town, but they might not feel nearly as comfortable shopping from an online business in Ghana, Kenya, or Egypt. Now, of course, there is a trust factor which we need to overcome, but the complexity around customs duties, delivery, and VAT play a big role in this. And apart from really opening up new stores for consumers to buy from, a major benefit of the Africa Free Trade Area is that there will be lower prices for the items which we buy when these items can be made in Africa. You see, because what happens right now is that many items that are sold locally are made in China, and we all understand that this is due to the lower cost of manufacturing in China. But when importing companies bring these goods in, the importer must pay an import duty. That import duty is kind of like a penalty for them not having bought that item from a local supplier. But up till now, these importers, well, it was worth them paying both the lower price plus the import duty because it would still be cheaper for them than if they were to try and manufacture that or source it locally. However, with the Africa Free Trade Area, this will mean that a South African company could source from a clothing manufacturer in Ethiopia, for example, and not have to pay import duties. And even though the cost of manufacturing probably won't be as low as China, the savings in the duties will actually make it cheaper overall. And so, not only will companies be able to source products cheaper and pass those savings on to consumers, which is great, but as you can imagine, this is also going to be a major job creator all across Africa, and that's just great news for everybody except China. But that brings me to my next point of the big things that are changing and those changes that are coming. Because many international corporations are seeing Africa as the next big opportunity, and they are working hard to secure their part of that opportunity. Now, one of the world's biggest online retailer, AliExpress, which is from China, They have stated that their aim is to get to a point where they can offer 2-day delivery to any consumer anywhere in Africa. And this would actually be great for consumers because they can get lower prices buying directly from those suppliers in China, even after import duties. But this will still be, although it's very appealing for African consumers, it'll hurt South African retailers or African retailers. But when this happens, it's going to be a game changer for sure. As will, in terms of game changers, as will the elephant in the room, Amazon. Because yes, Amazon is coming to South Africa. And the fact that they have identified SA as being their next big expansion opportunity is just yet another great indicator of the major growth yet to come. Because if they didn't see the growth that I'm talking about, then they wouldn't be coming here. But let's, of course, not forget that there is another player in the game who's going to have a significant role in jump-frogging the growth of online shopping and e-commerce right across Africa. And that's Pretoria's very own Elon Musk with his Starlink project, where him and a number of other players are looking to enable faster growth by putting strong internet, in the hands of Africa's 1.4 billion people, and to do so at a nominal cost. So if the so-called digital divide can be removed entirely where everybody has access to strong internet, then online retail is just going to accelerate. The growth of it is just going to accelerate at an incredible pace. And for us as consumers, this means more companies competing to offer us better products at better services at better rates. And so let's all get ready for the major changes in online shopping behavior, which are coming our way in the not too distant future.